Hi everyone, this quick video is to get you started on Module 7. So Module 7, we're right at the end of the semester. You are finishing your process essay. So we've been working on this same essay for the past 2 modules. You will now finish the final draft in this module. It sounds like an easy task, but I am expecting this draft of your essay to be really well written, really well proofread, really well edited, and so we're going to go over some things that you need to do in order to finish your essay and to submit it. So Module 7 seems pretty easy, but keep in mind it will probably take you the full week. The main reason why is because you need to wait for instructor comments and feedback on your rough draft. So this is revising your rough draft, the steps that I'm expecting you to take. You do have to use the same essay that you started in Module 6 and worked on in started in Module 5 and worked on in Module 6. Make sure that you look at the revision discussion board, your peers. Hopefully you got some peer feedback. Not everyone will probably get that, unfortunately, based on when you submitted and how well your peers do with the discussion board. Sometimes the classes do really well with this, and sometimes people just don't get feedback, which is why we also have the online writing lab, so you'll be able to use their comments if you haven't already. So you download the file out of your email, make sure those comments are visible because you'll see inline comments, specific inline comments. Make changes to your rough draft, of course. You'll do a self-edit, which will turn in this module, and then of course you want to look at your instructor feedback. It may take me a little while to give you feedback on your rough draft, so be expecting to see that later in the week, and so you may not have time to finish the final draft until Friday or Saturday or something, and then of course submit your final draft to the assignment. Just a warning, which you'll see more than once, if your final draft matches your rough draft and there are no changes that have been made, or there have been very few changes made, then you only get half credit for it. The whole point of doing all of this is so that your final draft has some good changes made from the rough draft. So this is what you're working on. You'll be working on 3 things. Your last next to last quiz for grammar, the self-edit, and then of course the final draft. So your self-edit works like a peer edit basically, but you're doing it for yourself. So you're going to use a checklist questions, and all you turn in for this assignment is your answer to the questions. So you're not like doing a discussion board or anything. You're just looking at your own essay, answering questions about your own essay. Give yourself something to change. That's the whole point of a self-edit. I'm looking for, did you critique your essay? Did you give yourself some critical feedback? Did you give yourself something to work on, something to change, that kind of thing? And then whatever you've typed up in this document, kind of explaining that answer to the questions, and that's what you'll submit here. So you may want to do that right at the beginning of the module. This is the process essay assignment again. Just as a reminder, this is what we're working on. Some of you are really confused. All you have to do is read these in order in the module, and it will make more sense. Grammar review, we're doing other punctuation and apostrophes. So this will be our last grammar quiz that's specific. The next grammar, the last grammar quiz for the class is a review. So it's stuff that you already learned. And then the last thing that I want to make sure that you have before you submit that final draft is editing for second person. So second person pronouns are where you are addressing the reader directly, and that is a set of instructions in a process essay, and that is not what I want you to do. So a lot of you are going to get this feedback in your rough draft. You need to make sure that you are using either I, first person, this is what I did when I completed this process, or third person, as in like a student or a baker or a mechanic or whatever, somebody who is not you and not the reader, essentially. So I've given you some examples here, and then a video that you can watch is really good, that it goes through exactly what second person is, why we avoid it, how to fix it, that kind of thing. I really highly recommend that you watch this if you have a problem with it. Some students, some people in general, that's just how they write, is using second person. And so it's a really hard habit to get out of doing. Once you have started to recognize where you use second person over and over again, then it will improve your writing a lot. So then the last thing that you do, of course, is turn in the process essay. Again, there's a reminder that if you that you don't make any changes, if you just submit that same rough draft again, then you won't, you'll only get half credit for it. These are just, again, the criteria, major criteria that you want to make sure that you're matching with the assignment, which is another link right here in case you're confused still. And then obviously 150 points. This is a huge assignment. This is a major assignment in the class. You really need to make sure that the draft that you submit here is the best of your writing ability. You're writing a full essay for this one. It can be a little bit of a challenge. A lot of students kind of brush it off. Not a big deal, just an essay. This is huge points for the class. This is basically telling me whether or not you are ready to move on to Comp 1. So if you can't complete this assignment correctly, you're not moving on, because then you wouldn't be successful in Comp 1. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is our last major assignment. The next module is all about review and reflection, so it's not going to be as difficult. This one is the hard assignment for the class. So just kind of keep that in mind. Obviously, you always email me. I will be giving you feedback on that rough draft, of course. If you have questions about my feedback or questions about how the assignment works or anything like that, make sure that you're emailing me. We only have the 2 modules left, and so if you are struggling at all, I need to know, because there's no way I can help you after this point. There's not a whole lot of class time left. So I get students who are always panicking at the end, and my comment is always, if you would have contacted me sooner, then I could have helped you. At this point, I can't. So just kind of keep that in mind. Hopefully you're doing well, and I'll see you later.